Hey guys, what's up? Mike Wienenbach here, Friday afternoon, New York City, a hot July day, answering my mailbox. And overwhelmingly, the question was, Mike, what is the deal with testosterone? What is it? Let's go to the videotape. Testosterone is the godfather of all steroids. All steroids are derived from test, right? So it was the one that has been available since the longest time, since 1938-ish or so. And it has been used to basically cure anemia or people that were suffering from certain diseases such as muscle loss and so on and so forth. So that's what it does. It builds muscle, red blood cells, makes bones stronger. It's also to some degree a mild antidepressant. So great, right? Let's take more. Well, like with everything, there are downsides, right? It is also androgenic, which means there's acne, there's water retention, there's shutdown of your own testosterone production. And there can be issues in terms of oily skin and bitch tits, gyno. So, all things considered, testosterone is the one steroid where we have the most research, right? When people say, oh, I go to this anti-aging clinic and I'm using bioidentical hormones, it's like, you're doing roids, okay? But that being said, testosterone, if used properly, is relatively safe, okay? Now, everything is relative. So if you drink 2 cups of coffee a day, you'll be fine. You drink 24, you're probably gonna have a heart attack. So somebody who is as old as I am, and I've been around knowing about steroids since like the late 80s, early 90s, I can't help but think, when I look at today's dosages, is everybody nuts? Okay? So, couple pointers. The average gym goer does not need anything but testosterone. If you cannot build a beach body, we're not talking competition, on test alone, you're doing it wrong. Secondly, and I said this before, steroids are for qualified personnel only. If you cannot squat twice your body weight for reps, bench at least once for reps, you have no business using any of these substances. There's no need to run a stack for most people. Testosterone in the 200 to 400 milligram range is perfectly fine. What if you use more? Well, if you use more, you're cramming a gallon of water into this. What's gonna happen? It's gonna flow over, right? More drugs will not guarantee more results, just more side effects. You have to understand that. Now, what makes people run these dosages? The reason is they're mentally addictive, okay? So if you put a bunch of steroid users into a room without drugs, they're not gonna get cold turkey, sweats or whatever, but going from being Superman to being normal, that's the addiction. And that's where people die, okay? This year alone, who did Rich Piana, et cetera, people stay too long on these substances, and that's when bad things happen. So, you have to understand, muscles will not make you happy, okay? So if you think I'm taking a bunch of roids and girls will like me, I'm gonna get a sponsorship, it's not the case, okay? There's more to life than being big, okay? I try to be a good father by eating right and eating healthy and, but there's more to it. So, steroids are just a really powerful supplement. They're not the ticket to happiness. Okay, that was my excursion to philosophy. Now back to the biochemistry. So if you're using it properly, you must come off, okay? So in the old days, people used an anti-estrogen, such as Clome or Nolva, to prevent estrogen production, and everything would come back on. The other option would be to use a short ester of testosterone. So there are 4 different esters. There's test suspension, where the half-life is a couple hours. Propionate, we're looking at 48 hours. Ethanate or cypionate in the States, we're looking at 5 days. And then there's testosterone, is basically a mix. So suspension is used by people who are being drug tested because they can use it, and a couple hours later, they'll be negative. It can also be used when you stop, let's say your ethanate cycle, you're using just suspension in the morning, you taper it off slowly, forcing your body to basically reproduce testosterone. Or you run HCG during the cycle, and in the end, and come out with another anti-estrogen such as Arimidex. Another thing, people often use drugs to get big, and then when they come off, they decide to cut. That is the wrong idea. When you come off the drugs, your body is catabolic as is, meaning it's fine to keep on muscle mass. If you cut calories then, you will lose your gains. Cliff notes. Testosterone is very well researched. If you're using it from 2 to 400 milligrams a week under medical supervision, you're probably gonna be okay. You do not need anything else. If you cannot squat your body weight times 2, hands off. If your diet is crap, hands off. If you're thinking it will fix all your problems in life, hands off. If you don't know how to do a proper PCT, watch this video again. And with that, I'm out.